Hey everyone, welcome to this preview episode of Real Take Wrestling, preview of AEW All Out 2022. Bear with the audio. Obviously, I do not sound as crisp, as clear, as undigitized as I normally sound. That is because I am traveling and I got to deal with hotel Wi-Fi, hotel energy, and just my laptop. I didn't bring a mic. My bad, but hopefully everyone can hear me pretty well. I already see that Cincy Edits is in the chat saying, Real Take Sports Talk be like very good. So hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification, but go over to youtube.com/Real Take Sports and subscribe over there as well. But today we're talking wrestling. We're talking AEW Double or Nothing. What a pay-per-view. It is going to be tomorrow night live. I believe 8 p.m. start time, 7 p.m. I think is when the kickoff show or the preview show, the pre-show, whatever you want to call it, is going to happen. So there's a lot to talk about, obviously. And as you can see, for those of you watching on youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling, you can see you just saw the CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World title. We'll obviously get to that. Again, please bear with my voice if you're joining. Uh, Traveling man, yeah, I got to travel, but I also got to get the preview shows in. And without further ado, guys, let me know what you guys are looking forward to the most on Double or Nothing. I know that there are a few matches that I'm excited to see. Honestly, there are also some matches that I thought I was going to see. Most notably, the Britt Baker Statlander rematch, where Stat would hopefully come out on top. Obviously, Chris Statlander is not wrestling on this show as of right now, but no big deal. Ruby Soho is great. I just am a huge Stat fan, but we'll get to that. Before we do, again, everyone, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out the channel, helps us grow, helps more people see this stream, and it also helps my self-esteem greatly. So if you could, that would be very, very helpful. Cincy, what match are you excited about? Because I know you have thoughts about AEW and wrestling in general. Very interesting thoughts, by the way, Cincy edits. Um, Before we do, though, let's just get into talking about the general buildup of this show. There's a lot of storylines coming into this. The Owen Hart Classic, or sorry, the Owen Hart Foundation Cup, I should say, being one of the biggest things. The long running cup, the long running tournament that has been happening on AEW television that I've really liked. I've enjoyed some of the best matches, honestly, of the entire year have come out of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. And I think that's a really good wrinkle. If they can keep with tradition and make that a double or nothing thing, I think that would be amazing. But generally, double or nothing. I'm reading this card, and I'm not gonna say. So here's the thing. I don't think that this is AEW's best put together card because I really do think that I think Revolution was great. I think All Out 2021 was the best, but this is no slouch. Like I'll just run through the card very quickly, and like look at the pre-show. You have Hookhausen, the team of Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. Say what you want about the in-ring action. It is going to be entertaining, and I'm going to be there for it. Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin as well in a singles match because why the hell not? Kyle O'Reilly's a great wrestler. Darby Allin's a great wrestler. Why the hell not? You have Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay for the AEW TBS Championship. Jade Cargill, up and coming superstar. Anna Jay, up and coming in her own right. You also have House of Black versus Death Triangle for the 80th time. American Top Team in a six-person tag team match, which I believe was added on AEW Rampage this week. But yeah, that is Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant making her AEW in-ring debut versus Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Ty Conti. The Hardys versus the Young Bucks in a rematch of their classic match that they used to have in Ring of Honor. You also have the Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy in a three-way tag team match defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships against Team Taz's Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Will Hobbs versus Keith Lee and Swerve, the realist, Swerve Strickland. Also, you got Jericho Appreciation Society, Chris Jericho, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager versus Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club members of Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Anarchy in the Arena. It is going to be fantastic. Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho in the AEW Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, baby, in the men's final. And MJF versus Wardlow, Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's World Championship. And Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk for the AEW Men's World Championship. The biggest thing that I can say about this so far, a lot of matches on this card, people. There are a lot of that is I just ran through on the main card. There are 12 matches. If you count the pre-show, there are 13. I really do hope, and this is no slight on anyone, I really do hope either the 6-person with American Top Team versus Ty Conti, Sammy Guevara, and Kazarian gets moved to the pre-show. I would not mind if they moved another match, the other 6-man tag team match to the pre-show, because I mean it's a lot of wrestling. This is a lot of wrestling at one time, because and I feel like if they don't move it to the pre-show, we're gonna it's going to be a long ass show. Like we're gonna be there till 12:30 watching pro wrestling, which is not a bad thing, but for the crowd that's over there, for the crowd that is actually in Vegas, they are going to be hella tired. But we got a card. There it is. Let's run through it since the edits in the chat says Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole is going to be good. And since he also says, I'm a big Swerve Strickland fan, so I'm excited for that match. I'm very excited for that match too. And spoiler alert, the title will change hands. But who's going to win it? Find out in just a little bit. Before we do, I want to get the matches that I have not made graphic cards for out of the way first. First, you have Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. Two really great wrestlers in in a really great match. The one thing I will say is that Darby Allin has, as of recently, if you take away the match that he had with Andrade Alidlo, he did not, or has not, I should say, been getting a lot of big wins, whether they be on TV, like in singles matches, or on pay-per-view. I think it's time to get Darby a pay-per-view win again and kind of start him up again for something else, hopefully. And Kyle O'Reilly is the perfect guy to do it. This is no slight on Kyle O'Reilly. I am on record saying that Kyle O'Reilly should have beaten Samoa Joe in the Owen Hart semifinal, because I would love to see a Canadian win the inaugural Owen Hart Cup or Foundation Cup. That's not what happened. It's all right. It'd be like that. But Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin's got to win this match. He's got to get started. He's got to get hot again. And this is how you do it. Moving on, we got, what else do we got? Oh, yeah, the American Top Team versus Sammy, Frankie, and Ty. So, Scorpio Sky, AEW TNT champion. By the way, that new TNT championship belt is amazing. You got Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Paige Van Zandt, with Dan Lambert at their side, taking on Sammy, Frankie, and Ty. I am not a fan of the presentation of the pairing of Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. Maybe that's part of the point, but it doesn't make me want to watch them. It kind of just gives me go away heat, and that's just a personal thing. I think Ty Conti is a great wrestler who could be presented in a better way. I think Sammy Guevara is a great wrestler who 100% also could be presented in a better way. Don't really see the need I mean, I understand there are a couple. I don't, but it's just not working to get either of them over, even as heels. So, like in this match, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zandt are the faces. They're the good people in this match. That being said, I think getting Paige Van Zandt a win and getting a decisive one, even if it's over Ty Conti, is very important, because there's a lot of equity, there's a lot of potential there with her, and I think that's the way you go. Also, time to get Ethan Page a big win in AEW. Like, I can't remember really like the last big win that even if there has been one, that Ethan Page has had ever since debuting in AEW as the Joker at Revolution 2021. So get him in there. Ethan Page, all ego Ethan Page, I think should actually pick up the victory, because give that man a dub. Please give that man a dub. Moving on, let's talk about the pre-show match. You have Hook Danhausen, the pairing that nobody needed, that nobody had even thought could exist like 6 months ago, that is now the pairing that everybody needs. Hook, Danhausen teaming up to take on Tony Nese, Smart Mark Sterling. This has been beautiful. Every single part of the storyline between Hook and Danhausen has been absolutely perfect. Hook is great because all he has to do is stand there, look menacing, and be Hook, and he's over, and this works. And Danhausen does all the talking, does all the entertainment parts, and both of them are great. Like, this is a great pairing. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great. And what I love about this the most is you're getting used for Tony Nese, who is a great wrestler, who I think with this pairing for Smart Mark Sterling can actually do something down the line, especially if Ring of Honor ends up getting a TV deal and they're able to have more time to present people like him, people uh people. I mean, people like Swerve. There's a lot of people that they could present in a much better way. Even Jay Lethal, given his ties to Samoa Joe right now in storyline. But this is amazing. The chips, the Danhausen gifting Hook chips, like just something as simple as that, just had the crowd in the palm of their hands. And then Hook just walking out to the ring. They don't have to do much. Hook just walks to the ring to scare Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling away, and they have they're the most over people in the entire company. Like, it is amazing to see. I love, if you have not seen the videos of on Twitter, there's the videos on Twitter, I believe on AEW's YouTube channel too, if you go check it out, of Smart Mark Sterling preparing for this match. And he's like running up the rocky steps, he's doing big workouts. Tony Nese is like feeding him protein. It's amazing. Please check it out. He did some of the funniest stuff. Smart Mark Sterling is a gem who should never, never not have work in professional wrestling. Like, he is amazing at being this comedy, but also somehow like taken seriously like manager. Because think about his clients, some of his clients: MJF, Tony Nese, Jade freaking Cargill. Like the man knows how to scout talent, and he obviously knows how to represent them, at least in storyline, obviously. But I love it. I love this match. And is it going to be great in ring? I don't care. It's going to be entertaining. That's why I'm buying in at the buy-in. That's what they call them. But it's going to be great. Cincy in the chat says Danhausen is too good. You're damn right. Danhausen is too good. Yes. Um, that's going to be an amazing match. Ooh, what happened there? That's interesting. Anyway, moving on to our next match, we have for the TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. And I said this on OT Graps this week. Jade Cargill is the fastest and biggest rising star in AEW, and it is for a reason. One, she's amazing. Two, she's over. Three, she gets ratings. Like, it, for anyone who wants to doubt Jade Cargill's ability in the ring, she's just gotten better and better ever since she stepped foot in the ring. And I think it was that Shaq match that they had last year on Dynamite. She's gotten better and better every single time she stepped between the ropes. She understands her position as a talker, knowing when to talk. She's developed a cadence. She's developed a catchphrase that's over. Tony, cut the shit. Like, the presence of Jade Cargill is amazing on TV, and it translates into ratings. Look. A lot of the times, the quarter hours for Dynamite when they come out, when are they at their highest? It's when she's on TV, and there's a reason for that. People see her as a badass. People see her as a champion, as a legit threat, and they want to see like they are captivated by her, and for with good reason. She's, like, in my eyes, the fastest rising star. Like, it's just crazy to see, and I love it. She's TBS champion. She's going up against Anna Jay, who has not really been presented on TV, honestly. Like, the last big thing that Anna Jay was even, I think, presented on, it was part of that long running feud they had with the Bunny and Penelope Ford, and they had a fantastic match on New Year's Eve this past year. I hate the fact that that tweet really took a lot of the shine away from what was an amazing match that really nobody saw coming if you hadn't seen the spoilers before. But I mean, like Anna Jay, obviously she can go in the ring. She's been there. I don't think she's been highlighted enough to really be taken seriously as a threat in this matchup, and that's unfortunate. I think AEW does obviously need to do a better job of building up women in positions of title shots and women as they get into the position of title shots. They have not done a good job of that objectively, but I think this is great. I think having Jade Cargill and Anna Jay maybe go a little bit longer than Jade Cargill is used to. Like maybe this ends up being a 6 to 10 minute match or 7 to 10 minute match. And maybe we get to see some things from Jade Cargill we haven't seen. Anna Jay's like has a strategy. I would like that. I would like it to be like you could turn Jade Cargill into a little bit of a Brock Lesnar type figure in the ring as far as the like when Finn Balor, Brian Danielson, and all those people, whenever they would face Brock Lesnar, it was interesting to see how each one of them would have a different strategy of taking them on and being smart about it, and trying to figure out how can we defeat this beast, how can we outsmart Brock Lesnar, and I think you could do a similar thing with people like Anna Jay, people like even Ty Conti down the line, like who are amazing wrestlers but in reality, are they really a match? It's like a David versus Goliath thing with Jade Cargill. But how do we get past it? How do we outsmart Jade Cargill? How do we scout her weaknesses? I that's how you get Anna Jay over as being a very intelligent in ring technician, as well as getting Jade Cargill, who's going to win this match, by the way. Spoiler alert. But that's also how you get Jade Cargill in a good position of no matter how much scouting someone does, they can't beat Jade Cargill. So Jade Cargill's gonna win this match. I have a lot of expectations, honestly, for this match because these are two of my favorite wrestlers on the AEW roster. But there's so much you could do here. There is a lot you could do here. I really wish though they had presented it even nominally on television because it just seems like they've put this together last minute. Again, sorry about the mic traveling. Didn't bring my mic. It be like that. Moving on, let's talk about Death Triangle versus House of Black for the 80th time in AEW history. I mean, didn't they legit? Didn't they have a six? They had a 6 man at the last pay per view on the pre show, and instead of Ray Phoenix because Ray was injured, they brought in Eric Redbeard, the former Eric Rowan. So it's basically a retread. Pac is going nowhere. Malachi's going nowhere. None of these guys are going anywhere. It's going to be a great match. I'm going to be entertained. It's going to be great in the ring. It's going to be fast, furious because you have in one match you have on one side in Death Triangle three of the most entertaining wrestlers to watch. Ray Phoenix, in my opinion, in all of pro wrestling, all around the world, the most entertaining wrestler ever. Like in the ring, like I am astonished at some of the stuff that Ray Phoenix can do. And on the other side, you have a monster in Brody King. You have Malachi Black, who is just a great all around wrestler and presentation as a character, and Buddy Matthews, who's also just great. It's going to be great. House of Black, sure, because yes, get him a win, get him out of this feud, end this feud, please, Tony Khan. It needs to end. I think that's something we can all agree. This feud needs to end. Moving on, let's talk about the long anticipated rematch of the Hardys versus the Young Bucks on AEW Rampage this week. We saw Gangrel make a rare appearance on AEW television and in coming out with the Young Bucks as they parodied the Hardys. We had Matt Jackson come out doing the Matt Facts like Matt Hardy would do in the version 1 era. Then you had Nick Jackson with the Jeff Hardy face paint, obviously parodying the Hardys. And I thought it was a pretty entertaining segment. And I love that there's this promo that Matt Hardy cut a few weeks back on a BTE on Being the Elite that was amazing. Go check it out if you have not already. He was right about one thing. The Young Bucks haven't beaten the Hardys. And I think that is a very effective and simple way to tell a story here. And because of that, I think the Young Bucks are going to win. I know this is the Hardys' last big run. And I think one of the ways that you go out on your last big run is you go out doing crazy stuff, which I fully expect Jeff Hardy to jump off of something and do something absolutely insane. The Young Bucks are also equally as insane as Jeff Hardy, and they're probably both going to be just the energy with Nick Jackson and Jeff Hardy just being like in the ring together. They're going to do something crazy together. Um, and it's going to be entertaining, great match, greatness. I love it. I can't wait for this. Like, what more can you say? It's the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. You see some of the matches they were having in 2017 before the Hardys jumped back to WWE. Were some of the greatest matches. Like on WrestleMania weekend, at WrestleMania 33, they had a ladder match that was just out of this world. And then the Hardys went over the next night and like won the WWE Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. It's craziness. Nobody saw that coming. But you got to go with the Young Bucks here. I think the Young Bucks are due a pay-per-view win at this point. They're too over not to get one. And the Hardys, like I said, they don't call it an end tour. They don't call it, a last minute reunion or whatever for no reason. I think you put the Young Bucks over as you dwindle down the days of the Hardys. But either way, there really is no wrong answer, honestly, in my opinion, to a lot of these matches. But this is just going to be an amazing one. Next, Anarchy in the Arena, Moxley, Danielson, Santana, Ortiz, Kingston versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. Mayhem will ensue. This is going to be a brawl. I want people in the stands. I want people in the ring. I want people in the back. I want absolute anarchy. If you're gonna do it, do anarchy right. Just have absolute bedlam and mayhem. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I don't care. I want this is like one of those matches where I want to watch Bryan Danielson just absolutely wail on Angelo Parker and the other jabroni. I want to see just people getting hurt in kayfabe. I obviously don't want anyone to get hurt, but I want to see people in kayfabe like just being like I want to see hair pulling, I want to see nose pinching that Brian does. I want Eddie Kingston to like come out and just like just like be Eddie Kingston and be real. I love that. I mean, this is gonna be amazing sports entertainment combined with brawling. It like look at the people who are involved in this. How can this fail? I did say that about AEW Revolution 2021's main event, didn't I? Hopefully, we don't have a repeat of that, but I doubt that's going to be the case. I will say this. I am picking the Jericho Appreciation Society for one reason and one reason only. The reason I'm picking the JAS to win this match and the reason I want them to win is because if that's the case, we are likely going to extend this feud and we're going to get 5-on-5 rematch in blood and guts. And just the idea of hearing William Regal say, blood and guts. It really brings back memories of good old William Regal. Like you remember when he used to be on WWE TV and he would always say what would he always say, people? He would always say,
that was my first time hearing.
Whoops, that's the wrong one. That was the wrong one. Let's see, is this the right one?
War games.
That's it. That's what we want. You know what we want this know what we want with between these 5 wrestlers or these 10 wrestlers after Sunday?
War games.
Except it's blood and guts. That's what we want. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos are released. Moving on, our next match that we're going to discuss. Again, massive apologies for the audio. Hopefully everyone can somewhat hear me, but if not, it's out of my hands. I apologize. MJF versus Wardlow, the hottest feud coming into this entire card, bar none. Like, this is the biggest, hottest feud. The crowd's going to be absolutely ballistic for this match because MJF has been a massive, massive bully. He's been a dick. And Wardlow has looked like a diamond through the entire process. People want to say that this is like the Batista run when Batista was first coming up. This is like his like this is the new telling of that. I think this is better. And the Batista thing was amazing. It was like historic. I think this is like the most right now. This is the best thing on television week to week that AEW is doing. The presentation of Wardlow, this feud with MJF, everything that MJF is putting Wardlow through, and everything that Wardlow is doing on TV, the ways that Wardlow is managing to finagle and piss MJF off even more to the point where MJF is wrestling Wardlow tonight, and the stipulation is that if Wardlow loses, he will never be able to sign a contract with All Elite Wrestling. If MJF loses and Wardlow wins, Wardlow will be released from his contract with MJF, and he won't have to worry about that albatross around his neck anymore. Wrestling is great when you have stakes. Like it can be great when you just have great wrestlers, but it's at its best when you got stakes. MJF versus Wardlow has all the stakes in the world for both of these competitors, and both of them are absolutely just like at their zenith right now. And that is at like MJF, who's like 26 years old. Wardlow, who I believe is like what 29 right now. Like he's a young buck, as JR would say. I mean, like these two are just it's gonna be great. What more you want me to say? It's going to be great. Like this is gonna be the best thing on the card. The thing I'm looking forward to the most because I want to see what Wardlow is going to do to MJF. They could go out there and squash MJF. They could literally go out there and squash MJF in 25 seconds, and I would not have a problem with it because that's how awesome Wardlow is. And that's how legitimate Wardlow is. He could legit beat MJF in like 20 seconds by getting his hands on it. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think MJF is going to lean into Wardlow's anger and try to outsmart him in that way. Kind of, Wardlow could finish him off in like a minute or two, but MJF is just pissing Wardlow off, and Wardlow is distracted by his anger, maybe. And that could be a story you could tell throughout the match. There's so many ways it could go, and not a lot of them are bad. At the end of the day, though, Wardlow must win this match. This is his big time moment to break free into a singles competitor and break free of MJF. You do like they already went down this road. You gotta pull the trigger. I know AEW's had some trouble pulling the trigger as far as some other storylines go. They should not when it comes to this match. Since the edits in the chat says MJF is gonna get shit on and request his release. Hey buddy, I don't think he's gonna request any release. I think look, first of all, even if he requests a release, he's not gonna get it. And at this point, I think MJF he's due a contract or his contract expires January 2024. That is not a work, it's a shoot. If that's the case, he'll just leave and get paid at WWE. Like legit, that's actually like and it wouldn't be and you can't be mad at the guy because he's getting paid and he's doing something else because whatever, AEW didn't work out. AEW should pay him though. Next, we have the AEW Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Final graphic. A little outdated. Sorry, didn't get a chance to change it. But it is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Destination Known Ruby Soho. Rematch of their classic match at AEW Grand Slam back in September. And I think the end goal should be to get Ruby over. I like the fact that AEW has this supplementary tournament that is actually going to give some of these people who have not had a chance to hold a title or be presented because of the lack of TV time that AEW has and gives to the women's division. I think that this is the moment where you put Ruby Soho over. They're going to have a belt. They're going to have a trophy or something as well. Ruby Soho should be hoisting that belt up and saying, I am the Owen Hart Foundation final winner or whatever. I will have the Owen. I have the Owen. It is mine. This should be this should be made as a big deal because this is how you get people over. This is how you get people to care by winning accolades, by winning these awards. And DMD, she right now she's at the point where she doesn't need to be involved in the title picture. She can get this loss, and I want to see Ruby win. I want when the ref says 1, 2, 3, I want to hear Rancid play, and I want to hear Destination Unknown. Yeah, I want to hear Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho has got to win this match. Admittedly, I really wish that it was Statlander because I am a huge Statlander fan. I really do wish it was Chris Statlander. I feel like she's been around and really earned it. Ruby Soho, though, is amazing. And I am in New York, so Destination Known, baby. Ruby Soho for the dub. Moving on, the men's tournament final. Again, it is going to be Adam Cole, baby, versus Samoa Joe, not Kyle O'Reilly. A Canadian will not be winning the Owen Hart Cup, unfortunately, which is a travesty if you ask me and everyone in Canada. Since he says, Lou, they made Chris, but Lou, what does Lou mean? Explain it to me. I'm old. But Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. I really want Joe to win. I really do want Joe to win. I think it would cement him as a star and cement him as just an ass kicking machine and the ultimate badass in AEW. That being said, it's going to be Adam Cole because he's Adam Cole. And Adam Cole doesn't lose big matches like this back to back to back. Like he already lost the Easter World Title match. He already lost at Revolution. He's not losing this. It's going to be Adam Cole. I want Samoa Joe to win. I'm assuming there are going to be shenanigans with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt as well as Satnam Singh. I, I really want Samoa Joe to win. I really would have wanted Kyle O'Reilly to win because I think a Canadian probably should have won, but is what it is. Adam Cole's gonna pick up the victory here, and it's okay. Like Adam Cole needs a win, and we all understand that, and because he's just a big star, who's consistently the most over person in AEW, like as far as the crowd reaction. It's always Adam Cole. He gets like I think he consistently gets the biggest reaction from every live crowd, no matter what it is, and that's a big deal. Like AEW does need to lean into that a little bit. So get him the big win that he needs, and then God end this and just give Samoa Joe like present him as something else. Present him away from the Jay Lethal Satnam Singh stuff. I don't like it. And like I gave it a chance. I think Satnam Singh has a chance to be good. I do think he has a chance to be good. He's not as bad as people thought. A lot of people originally thought, "Oh God, it's the next Kali," which I didn't really vibe with because yeah, he's a tall Indian dude. I didn't vibe with that because I think that's kind of generalizing. But and again, I understand the comparisons. Like I genuinely do. I genuinely do understand the comparisons. But Satnam Singh is 100% a better athlete than Great Khali. It's like not even close. So please, I understand. Easy to generalize. I don't think there were a lot of bad intentions behind it, but I do think that just and I'm not like criticizing anyone to a degree where it's just like, oh my god, like stop watching their show or what. No, it's okay. Like happens. I think being aware of this now will make people think a little bit more and think more critically. Like when you make comparisons, they should be like accurate, not just like oh I'm just gonna compare famous wrestler X to famous wrestler Z. Like like there needs to be some more, I think, thought and genuine analysis put into like these comparisons and critiques we do in pro wrestling. That's all I'm saying. Not hurting, not like trying to hurt anyone's cred, not trying to trash on anyone. Genuinely, I don't think like 90% of the people out there who made the comparison between Great Khali and Satnam Singh were trying to be offensive or just trying to, genuinely hurt anyone. But something to be aware of, and I'm glad it's being talked about. Um, moving on in the chat, since he says, Omar, did you see the Steelers hired you as their GM? I know, right? It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. If the Steelers did offer me the job as GM, yeah, I'd have to think about that one. As a Ravens fan, I'd really have to think about that one, wouldn't I? Oh yeah. Since he says AEW is LE. Loser Elite Wrestling. I love it, Cincy. Oh, throat's getting sore. Got to run through this card. We got Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, the realest Swerve Strickland, I should say, versus Powerhouse Will Hobbs and all elite, or not all elite, absolute Ricky Starks. I apologize, Ricky. Versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships. I'm going to be very blunt with you guys. The world titles will change hands. The tag team titles will change hands. And they are going to go to Absolute Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. because you got to put some gold on Will Hobbs, and you got to put some real gold. No slack in the FTW title, but you got to put some real gold on absolute Ricky Starks. My God, I want to see them presented more on regularly on Dynamite TV than I think any other tag team. That's no slight. That's no slight against Keith Lee. It's no slight against Strickland or Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus or all these guys. But absolute Ricky Starks on the mic, money and power. I need more Powerhouse Will Hobbs matches. Honestly, I just need more matches of Powerhouse Will Hobbs being strong, being big, and bulldozing people. That's what I want on Dynamite. And if it takes them winning the AEW World Tag Team titles to get that, let's do it. Also, those two have put in the work for almost a year and a half in both their cases. They put in so much work to be here at this point. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Put the titles on these boys, and I want to see them go. I need to see Ricky Starks be a consistent piece of Dynamite, of the A show, in case anyone's wondering. Like, I love Rampage. Dynamite's the A show. Like, it's not even close. So, let's get Ricky Starks some real gold, have him flaunt it, and that way eventually you can get the FTW title off of him, when you eventually do that rivalry with Hook, which is going to happen, by the way. But again, not gonna lie, if Swerve and Lee won, wouldn't be mad. But I really wanted, this is just a fan in me now speaking, like less so the analysis. More, I mean, no, I feel like the analysis is right too, but also the fan in me just loves Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Like those are two of my boys. Like as far as pro wrestling goes, I love them and I want to see them succeed. Um, Cincy in the chat says L gives Swerve and Lee the gold. I wouldn't be mad. I'm just talking as a fan at this point. I want to see Ricky Starks win, man. I want to see Ricky and Hobbs, like, especially Hobbs. I feel like Hobbs needs some gold. Let's get it going. Keith Lee's going to be over for a little bit. I understand the case with Swerve Strickland, and I think they have plans eventually with Ring of Honor to do some stuff with him, which again, I think you can make the case that he should be doing stuff for the TNT title or even the world title eventually. But I just think it's Hobbs and Starks' time again. As long as the title changes hands, I think we're fine here. But this is like the one match where I'm like 100% guaranteed the titles will change hands. You can take that to the bank. You got DraftKings. I know AEW's doing that bet thing. By the way, bet responsibly. Don't just YOLO your money like people did with the stock market. Anyway, moving on. We have the AEW Women's World Title. Again, I apologize for my voice if everyone's listening. Don't have the mic, don't have the equipment. We're traveling, trying to make it work as best we can. Hopefully, it does not take away from the wonderful analysis, but we will have a mic ready hopefully by our next stream. And if we don't, I'm sorry. Thunder Rosa defending her AEW Women's World Title against Serena Deeb. I should be more excited about this match. I want to see this match. I should really expect this to be a toss-up. But the second Serena Deeb went on Dynamite, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Remember, 2 weeks ago they had that weird segment, and it was weird. It was badly booked, in my opinion, and badly put together. They had that segment where Serena Deeb came out, slapped Dustin Rhodes, and interrupted Shivani. What? Okay. And then Thunder Rosa came out, and they've had Thunder Rosa coming out, and instead of having matches, instead of building the champion up, instead of having matches, instead of having her in commentary like they've done with Hangman Adam Page, what have they done with Thunder Rosa? They've had her come out like to the ramp, cut a promo every week, and then leave. Almost like it really reeks of like just tokenization. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It really reeks of just here's our women's world champion. Great. That's you're telling me there's nobody back there who could find a better way to present this feud between two of the most badass people on the roster? Come on, man. Like, genuinely. But it's just been hard, man. Like, some of these segments too have not been great. Like when Serena Deeb stole the title, like remember she stole the physical title belt from Thunder Rosa after that segment. I was legitimately like, okay, well, boom. I know who's gonna win. Like before, it was kind of like, hey, they could just say, let's YOLO it to Deeb. But now I'm like, Serena Deeb is not winning, because when in pro wrestling history has anyone stolen the title belt and won the match? Never, never happened. That is a death nail in anyone's chances of winning a title. You got IBB in the chat saying Hobbs and Starks feel like my boys just because of how much we've seen them grow since they've arrived. They got the titles in the bag here. Both are stars in the making. IBB also says send a few pounds through Streamlabs. Hope it got through. Haven't used it much before. Keep up the great work, man. I appreciate it. Actually, I didn't check the Streamlabs link. Um, uh, Recently. I have not been checking it. That's just my bad. But EBB, you are an amazing human being. You are an amazing fan of pro wrestling. I see you on the True Heel Heats streams a lot. I see you on a lot of the stuff that you be doing and you be listening to. You have great taste in pro wrestling commentary and all that stuff. So, and I love your chats too. So feel free to put them in here. Like the Streamlabs is like an optional thing, but feel free to put them in here, ABB. Love to see it. Thank you so much again. And again, you're part of the community. We love to see it. ABB Cincy in the chat says, boring feud between Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, to be honest. Yeah, that's been the biggest thing. Like, I should be excited about this match, and that's what pisses me off. I should be excited about it, but AEW is giving me no reason to be excited about it other than the fact I have to rely on the fact that I know Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb are amazing wrestlers in the ring to just be remotely interested. Like, I'm interested because it's Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. They're gonna put on a clinic, but it's the World Championship. You would think that they would make it feel a little more important, like they did have done with the Hangman Adam Page championships. Uh, it's just been like I don't feel like I'm in the minority on this. I really do believe that these segments have been objectively bad. Not in the way that I think Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb are delivering them necessarily, but in just the way they're put together and scripted or written out or thought through. However the process goes in AEW. Genuinely, I just don't think these have been good. Um, yeah. ABB says, you have great taste too. Haha. Your work will be rewarded, Omar. Love your wrestling shows. Absolutely appreciate you, ABB. Thank you. It's people like you who keep me going, even while I'm traveling, have no mic, on hotel Wi-Fi, but we're doing it. Yeah. In the end, I think Thunder Rosa is gonna win this match. I would have loved. I really would love to see like. There's this weird universe, right, where Serena Deeb and CM Punk both win the world titles, and we get that image of them embracing or just being in the ring together as world champions. Almost, what has it been, like 12 years to the time where Serena Deeb was excuse me, was part of the straight edge society with CM Punk. Remember, she shaved her head, like, and they brought that up in a promo, so it is canon in AEW. So there you go. Pro wrestling history is AEW history. One thing I really love about the company, but yeah, Thunder Rosa. Sorry, Serena Deeb. I would love to see that image. I would love to see some sort of story told with that. I think that would actually make the title more important and prevalent on TV. Like, that's the thing about the women's title in the way it is presented. Unfortunately, they have the women's title. I think because of the lack of presentation consistently on TV in a good way, it's kind of felt more like a secondary title. Here's the thing: Jade Cargill and the TBS title have been booked much better, like consistently for TV than the women's title world title has. And I think that's a legitimate problem. Like it's great that the TBS title is getting a lot of shine. It's absolutely great, but you got to have your top titles as well. And I have a little bit of concern as well with the AEW World Title, but I mean the women's title just they need to make it feel important. They need to make the feuds feel important. The matches feel more important if they want to get this right. That being said, Thunder Rosa retains. I don't think Serena Deeb will win because of the reasons I laid out earlier. Because Serena just stole the title. I'm like, no one's ever stolen the title and won. Prove me wrong though, Serena. I would love to see Serena win. EBB asks, "Are you in Vegas?" No, I am not. Unfortunately, wish I was. But I am out of town for a friend's wedding. We'll be probably doing some sort of review show for Dynamite, or sorry, not Dynamite, AEW Double or Nothing. But wish I was in Vegas, All Out Chicago. We're gonna make that happen. EBB also says, yeah, it's never advertised. They're rushed and they put out there for 5 minutes right before the main event. Yeah, like I said, it just seems like they're just being like women's champion. Here you go. Here's our women's champion. Okay, bye. Okay, now the real main event. Like it again, might just be me, but I don't think it is. But that being said, it's gonna be a great match. Finally, the AEW Men's World Championship. Hangman, not Hangman. Got to go with JR's pronunciation here. Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk in Vegas, the city where Punk cut his infamous pipe bomb promo. T-Mobile Arena is a big time match, big fight feel. Both these guys have brought energy in the last few weeks of this feud. Both these guys have brought passion. Both these guys have brought absolute vitriol for each other, which I love. They never fully explain why, which that's a concern of mine. I'm like, okay, they're angry, and Hangman kind of did explain it a little bit on Dynamite. Actually, I am mistaken a little bit. He did say like CM Punk's coming in here and like thinking he's running things, thinking he's the vet. When Hangman's actually the vet, he's been here. He's representing all elite wrestling. So I get it. I think there could be more told and more justification for Hangman's vitriol. That's just me critiquing it a little bit. But that being said, like Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk into my veins. It's going to be electric in Las Vegas. Hopefully the crowd isn't too tired from 12 matches before that. 12 match. It's a 13 match pay-per-view. Like that is insane. But yeah, Hangman Adam Page, CM Punk, absolute clinic is going to be put on in Las Vegas. You know Hangman Adam Page is going to give it his all. CM Punk has been giving it his all for ever since he returned on TV. That being said, I do think that CM Punk is going to win. And it's not because Hangman Adam Page is not a great world champion. I think that if you're ever going to turn CM Punk heel, the time, place, and person to do it against in AEW is Hangman Adam Page. He's beloved by that audience. He had the longest built storyline in the history of that company. People hung with him the entire way. He's relatable. He's that millennial, woke, progressive cowboy, whatever you want to call it. He's awesome. Hangman Adam Page is going to lose the AEW World title by crook against CM Punk. He's going to low blow him, hit him with a GTS, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to get the Summer of Punk leading into AEW All Out, where CM Punk, the heel, is going to be revered. He's going to be revered, just like Hart in Canada, just like MJF in Long Island. We're going to see heel Punk, a Summer of Punk. It makes sense storyline wise. It makes sense just awesomeness wise. And it makes sense business wise. Having the biggest name in your company holding the biggest title in that division. So that's what I think about that. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. Like, fingers crossed. But I think the night should end with CM Punk winning. But we haven't addressed everything, have we? Because in just a few weeks, I believe, about a month, 4 weeks time, AEW is going to be having another pay-per-view. And it's not just going to be any pay-per-view. It's not just going to be a throwaway, oh, hey, we're getting you full gear. It's not just going to be an ordinary AEW pay-per-view, which, by the way, even ordinary AEW pay-per-views are absolutely amazing. But it is going to be an event that is like first of its kind to this caliber. I almost said Excalibur. To this caliber, AEW, Forbidden Door, New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW teaming up for this pay-per-view, sold out the United Center. They just opened up seats behind the stage. That's how full that entire arena is going to be. Sunday, June 26th, live on pay-per-view. This is like this is the pay-per-view where we're gonna see some dream matches, some dream matchups, some people go head to head that we never thought would. The night needs to end with somebody. CM Punk's holding the title high, thinking he's got it, thinking he's the guy. Night needs to end with one of two people coming out to confront CM Punk. One, you do the guy who actually invented the GTS, very easy built storyline. You have him come out. You have CM Punk be perplexed by what he's seeing, and you have Kenta basically come out and say and hit CM Punk with the GTS and build up for that match at Forbidden Door, AEW World Champion CM Punk versus Kenta. Or, and hear me out on this one, the guy who would get the biggest reaction, the guy who would sell the most tickets or sell more pay-per-views, the guy who everyone wants to see on a major North American television program. You hear the pennies drop, and Kazuchika Okada comes out to confront CM Punk. Kazuchika Okada versus CM Punk. Breathe for a second, close your eyes, open them, breathe out, and then tell me what you think. Because when you really think about it, everyone knows that's the matchup that you never thought could happen, that you never thought you needed. But the second that they pull the trigger on it, you're like, let's go. Let's go for this ride. Because Kazuchika Okada is just awesome. CM Punk is on a tear right now as far as the matches he's putting together at his age, at how deep into this he is. I think that's how the night should end. One of those two, whether it's Kenta, whether it's Kazuchika Okada, needs to come out. And I think that would build great. That would be great for Dynamite this week on Wednesday. That would be great for the ratings. That would also be great for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. But y'all let me know what you guys think. ABB in the chat says, definitely give the Countdown show a watch on AEW's YouTube channel today. Really fleshes out Hangman's points much better. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it. I think that just premiered like today. So I'll probably get a chance to see it like either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, no, I am interested to see what Hangman's more thorough points are. ABB also says no matter what, there will be some sort of character change in this match, no matter who wins. A double turn or like a heel turn with Hangman Adam Page. I don't know. It depends on how they do it. I don't know. ABB says my personal prediction is I got a feeling that CM Punk will turn heel after he loses. Hangman offers a handshake. Punk just loses it. Definitely seems like the first part of this program. Yeah, I mean, eventually they're gonna have the big rematch. I just hope again. I just think that the best thing to do for AEW right now, especially when the NBA finals are over and they're not gonna have that direct head-to-head competition anymore with basketball, you're gonna have a chance to really highlight some to some audience that maybe are not as familiar with AEW. Excuse me. You're gonna have a chance to highlight your product. CM Punk's the guy, like biggest name, biggest title makes the most sense to me. BB also says, I think if Punk wins the title, you got to let that moment breathe on its own. Can always do New Japan Break Star face off at a post pay-per-view Dynamite or at the LA Forum. Okay, no, the LA Forum, that makes sense. That one makes sense. I think though, and again, this is like a little bit more of the business side of things. I think having someone like Okada show up at a pay-per-view would boost ratings for the next week because you could advertise Okada for Wednesday night and people would tune in just to see Okada on a major wrestling show in North America. And again, no, like I totally understand. Like in the perfect world, Forbidden Door would be, maybe after All Out or something, and you or maybe this match wouldn't be happening. But I just think that you miss a chance to get people talking because at that point, like at the end of the pay per view, the objective isn't really to get people to buy the pay per view. The objective is how do we get people to watch on Wednesday and get interested in what we're doing consistently and eventually get interested in Forbidden Door. I think Okada, I almost called him Itami, but Kenta coming out would be big. ABB says, definitely understand that. Punk winning is probably the right decision. Yeah, I mean, again, it's the business side, and people want to talk about predictions, whether they should all be, what you feel in your gut, what you feel is should be smart, what you feel is best for business. In my opinion, it's a mixed bag. Like as a fan, I think about these things on different levels, and maybe that's not right. Maybe that's just stupid. But I mean, it's just the way I process things in pro wrestling, and it be like that. It be like that. But man, oh man, AEW Double or Nothing turning out to be one hell of a show. Guys, this has been wonderful. I'm sorry I too got to run. Traveling is a business, but I enjoyed this. ABB, as always, thank you so much for your presence. Love to see you. I'll probably see you on a True Hill Heat chat one of these days. Um, excuse, excuse me. ABB also says, great point, especially with how close Forbidden Door is. Forget it's less than a month away. Yeah, June 26th. It is less than a month away. It's crazy. I can't wait for that. I'm so mad. I'm lit. So here's the thing. I'm going to Chicago like just like a week before that, and but I bought the tickets and I made the plan before I knew Forbidden Door was gonna be in Chicago. And now I'm like thinking, I'm like, okay, do I stay in Chicago for like a week, which is going to be very expensive, or like do I fly back? Maybe like I don't know. I really want to go to Forbidden Door, and at this point, I'm probably not gonna get good tickets, but we'll see. We'll see. Either way, AEW Double or Nothing gonna be an amazing moment in time in history. I messed that up. It be like that. I got no mic. I got no confidence. But I love all of you. Cincy, ABB, Liam wasn't here, but shout out to you too, Liam. AEW Dynam or AEW Double or Nothing this Sunday tomorrow live on pay per view is going to be an interesting event that could have ramifications on multiple pro wrestling promotions if they do it right, on multiple events moving forward, and I can't wait for it. Hopefully, it's great. But y'all let me know what you guys think. What are your predictions? Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Head on over to Twitter at Real Take Sports for all updates. Follow me on Twitter at OMERQ Show. And until next time, be happy, be healthy, take care of yourself, take care of your families, and keep it real.